one person has died. The culprit is the ominously named death cap mushroom, which looks like popular edible wild mushrooms, but can cause fatal liver failure.
ABC's Jim Ryan. 3 skiers from Russia and 6 from Belarus have been approved to compete in qualifying events for the 2026 Milan Cortina Winter Games as neutral athletes. Russia and Belarus have been banned from Olympic competition over the invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Neutral athletes must not have publicly supported the war. Dave Packer, ABC News.
You deserve a chair that works as hard as you do. X-Chair. X-Chair ergonomic seating is built to move with you. DVL technology adapts to support your lumbar. SideFloat Infinite Recline lets you lean back and relax. X-Chair comfort and productivity. Save up to 50% during the X-Chair holiday sale. But hurry, inventory is limited. Visit xchair.com and save up to 50% today. That's xchair.com.
This is State Farm Agent John Wright. The smell of football is in the air, and the countdown to lifting championship trophies has begun. My award-winning team and I know the championship feeling, having supported high school football and local community events for over 30 years. If you want to know what it's like to be insured by the right team that is second to none, call me, John Wright, at 815-725-5052. Like a good neighbor, the John Wright team will be there when you need us.
Battle of the Brave is back with a twist. For the 8th annual showdown, we're bowling for the brave. Join us as police take on fire in a head-to-head bowling competition at Town and Country Lanes in Joliet. Saturday, January 24th. Teams will compete for a $500 cash prize and bragging rights. But you don't have to pick a side. Come out for an afternoon of fun, food, and community, all to support a cause that truly matters. For 8 years, WJOL and ExxonMobil have proudly partnered with the 100 Club of Will County, providing financial support to families of fallen firefighters, police, and first responders. Every dollar donated stays right here in our community. No paid staff, all volunteers. So grab your team and visit WJOL.com for more details on how to register. Don't wait. Space is limited. Join WJOL, ExxonMobil, and the 100 Club of Will County for Bowling for the Brave. Saturday, January 24th at Town and Country Lanes, Joliet. All made possible by our generous friends at ExxonMobil.
When you call or text 988, you're not talking to a machine. You're talking to someone like me. I'm here to listen to you and hear your story. You don't have to have all the words or know exactly what to say. I'll meet you where you are. Whether you're feeling hopeless, overwhelmed, or just need someone to talk to, we're here 24/7 because your life matters. Call or text 988. Let's find hope together.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
May I help you? I just wanted to request a late checkout, please.
Of course. That's $30 per hour for up to 4 hours.
Huh. Okay, but if you can offer a late checkout, then that probably means no one is staying in that room. So if it's empty, maybe I can just stay a few extra hours.
Oh, aren't you adorable?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates and other insurers, not available in all states.
Here we go. It's time for Pigskin Preview. Coaches, players, fans, and experts. You get them all right here on Pigskin Preview. Powered by State Farm agents John Wright and Drew Mormon. On 1340 WJOL.
And good evening and welcome. It is a weird, strange, way too late in the year, final edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM, along with the coach, Joe Rodriguero, Dave Dwyer Martinez joining us in the studio, along with Evan Bredesen. We will also hear from Dwyer Part 2 a little bit later in the 7 o'clock hour. But in the meantime, boys, one thing I learned over the last week, Joe and Dewey, I really didn't care for covering high school football in early to mid-December. You?
It was all right. It was all right since I was in a press box. It was okay for me.
Just weird.
No, Tuesday was weird. It was just absolutely weird. It was like the Twilight Zone.
So we appreciate you joining us. We will be here for the next 2 hours trying to inform, and we probably won't do that very well. Try to entertain. I know we won't do that very well. No, not really. This edition and every edition, and obviously we want to greatly thank our sponsors, our main sponsors for Pigskin, John Wright, our terrific State Farm agent in Joliet, and Drew Mormon in Lamont. Like a good neighbor, Joe.
State Farm is there.
Not even on the list, Joe. Don't
really
bother
care. With that no more.
Don't want to debate Dewey anymore this year on the Big Five. You can keep your emails and text to yourselves now. You don't have to go back and forth. We will have some guests. We will have state champion head coach Jeff Reeds from Wilmington joining us at 6:25. The Seuss Man, the Wizard of Kankakee, Steve Soucy, will join us at 6:45. And then Tyler Plants, runner-up Providence Catholic. And, Joe, that was an intriguing game, needless to say.
That was an unbelievable game. Hard one to lose, man.
Yep, Tyler will join us at 7:05. We'd love to take your calls. We are here for you for the next 2 hours. So again, boy, just Joe, to kind of refresh everything that went down. So it started off great.
Yeah, Friday was good.
We got Friday in. Wilmington did what I think we all expected Wilmington to do.
Yep, they were a machine for sure.
Lena Winslow in 1A kind of did what we all thought they were going to do. They were also a machine.
Which you predicted because Brown County's first time there.
Yep, and they looked like it.
Yep.
Arguably the best game of the entire tournament was 3A. Byron, Tolono Unity.
Yeah, that was a
really great game, and Tolono came to play, and that was the difference in that game.
Yes.
We all knew what Byron could do, but wow, Tolono really, really was able to exchange punches for the whole game and threw the ball really well.
I got a question for you. What would Byron be without Constantine?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Well, they'll find out next year.
That kid is unbelievable.
But again, terrific. It was at 56-50.
56-50.
And then 7A. Then 4A on Friday. What we thought. Terrific game, kind of back and forth. Scary thing, Joe, this was not one of Rochester's better teams.
No, they were very young, weren't they?
Very young. So they are going to be a handful next year. But a great game.
Yes.
All under the cloud of weirdness.
Yes.
So we'll fill you in on the timeline. So Friday, I get into the studio in Chicago. I was in the TV studio in Chicago. And kind of like the pairings night, I walk in and they go, well, just to give you a heads up, they're meeting right now down at Illinois State and discussing the fact that they might postpone the games on Saturday because of the impending storm. That's all we heard about the whole week.
Yep.
Leading up this impending storm. Well, probably, I don't know, I started texting you, Mr. Dwyer, at about maybe 11.
Yep.
Or 11. Said, hey, heads up, this could be happening. And then, Joe, it was like wildfire. Then all of a sudden my phone's blowing up. Coaches are being told. I'm getting texts from them saying, I can't believe they're doing this. And, you know, it's football. We play in anything. And blah, blah, blah. Okay. And sure enough, it came about 1 o'clock that IHSA, and first time in history of the tournament, was going to postpone the Saturday games. And they would let us know, even though somebody kept texting me every 15 minutes. Have they decided? Well, what about 7A and 8A? When are they going to play those? Yeah, like I haven't had those 100 times. Obviously, details are getting worked out, but, you know, and guys, looking at how things went down, it was kind of the right call.
I think so, too. I didn't have an inkling of it until halftime of the Wilmington game, and I went to go get something to drink, and I ran into Seuss, and he said, nothing's been for sure yet, but they're talking about canceling tomorrow.
Yeah.
He said, I'll let you guys know as soon as I hear something. And before we did leave the booth, before the end of the Wilmington game, we knew it was going to be, everything was canceled for Saturday.
Do we right call? Yes, no?
Yeah, I think no doubt the right call given the situation and everything. I just hope they learn from this. And I know you and I have talked about this. It's not the easiest thing to have a contingency plan.
No.
But
well, ISU is your contingency.
Right.
And it would have been fine, but so Tuesday went off without a hitch. Obviously, we were both there. Wednesday, they couldn't. They're not going to cancel a basketball game. They're just not at Illinois State. That's their biggest sport. That's their big money sport. So they're not going to do it. They could have played on Thursday. That was no issue. The issue was the forecast, which had it 20 plus degrees colder on Thursday compared to Wednesday. So IHSA called around. I know they called Northwestern. I know they called Northern Illinois. I know they reached out to Illinois. I know they went out to a couple other different locations. And then I get the questions, well, what about Joliet Memorial Stadium? No, I don't know. Sorry, Dewey. Dewey dressed up as someone else asking the question. What about North Central College? What about Gately? That was no. Soldier Field was my favorite.
Yep.
Love that one.
Like they're gonna.
Yeah, the genius that comes up with that one. Yeah, the Bears play there. You could play 2 games there. No big deal. The NFL's not going to care. Just come on in. Yeah,
they're not
tear
going to
up our
care
field.
turn up.
Folks, the NFL has to approve anything that happens. Anything. Joe, if your grandson runs out on the field, the NFL has to approve it during the season. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. So the moment I heard that, I just started laughing.
So did I.
Okay, sure. Believe that. I don't want to go back to Soldier Field ever if it was up to me. Honestly.
No.
I want to go to a brand new, fuzzy, warm, indoor stadium in the northwest suburbs. Stop by my buddy Dick Quagliano's house and get a couple of pops before a game. That's where I want to go the next time I see a Bear game. Okay?
Yes.
But it is what it is. I know, bear weather. Okay.
Oh, I don't believe
so
that.
they went, the point being, they wanted to get the games in. Dewey, you know this. You've got to get these things done. I mean,
right.
You've got basketball. You've got wrestling. Joe, what else do they do in the winter? I don't know. Hockey, sure. You got hockey. You had to get them in. And I think they made a right call. They got them in at Northern. Northern, again, very hospitable. Tell you what, Northern doesn't get enough credit for how they do things. And the reason being, and I'll tell you this, you walk in on, I can't remember the days anymore, Wednesday for the 7A game. There's Sean Frazier, Northern's AD, at the front gate, like welcoming in people and giving them towels. Schmitty towels, we'll call them.
Schmitty towels.
So, just incredibly welcoming. They did it in a heartbeat. They really didn't need to. They could have screwed the IHSA, and they didn't. So you got to give them all the props, and Illinois State, too, for getting it done. Crowds were incredibly disappointing, in my opinion, and I understand why.
Absolutely.
We all do. Doesn't mean that people still can't make an effort. That's another issue.
Yes.
We're not going to get into specifics, but I can if you want to. 815-254-7600. So just weird, boys.
Yep.
Just strange. Not as strange as the COVID spring season, but strange.
Yes.
But Wilmington still got a trophy.
That's right.
And Providence came so close to a trophy.
Yes.
So we will get into that in a few minutes. Thoughts, Joe, from the season overall?
I think from where we started back in August and talking about the season, I think the area did very well. I mean, we got 2 teams to the state championship. We wish we could have had more. There was, Lockport in the semifinal game and came up short. But I think overall, having a state champion and a runner-up is very good for our area.
Yep. Dewey?
I have some thoughts. I'll save.
You got I saw your notes. You got all kinds of thoughts.
I'm going to save those for after. Couple things, I will get into now is, guys.
Now he's going to the phone.
No, I have my notes. We had 3 key injuries. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, there's a lot of injuries, but we had 3 key ones. And Joe, we've talked about this.
You have about a minute and a half.
All right, Caves for Minooka.
Yep.
Who knows what would have happened there?
By the way, Minooka, one of the few teams to beat Oswego.
Yes.
Yep.
Sure.
Yep. Blaze La Vista for East. Now, does that change things against Mount Carmel? I can't sit here and say yes, but there was a chemistry with him.
It wouldn't have hurt.
Wouldn't have hurt.
Wouldn't have hurt him, no.
And to me, the biggest one was Luke Tingling. And guys, my opinion, if they have him, they have a shot playing for a state championship. Joe, we saw that first half against Providence. I mean, he was a man-child.
He was a man amongst boys. Yep, he was. I mean, he's the real deal.
We will get into Player of the Year probably after our next guest. After we'll take a break here at 6:20 and come back and we'll talk about that. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to complain because it was a good year. We got a team to win a state title. We got 2 down there, which for our area is to be expected every year. But we're able to pull it off. It was a dominant run from Wilmington, dominant run all season long. I know one of your more popular subjects is to talk about Wilmington at the table and whether they should be moved up on the table. It's something we can throw back and forth a little bit. But what we're going to do is we're going to step aside and take a break. When we come back, we will have the head coach of your Wilmington Wildcats, Jeff Reeds, joining us. We'll talk about the state title run. We'll talk about inflatables. We'll talk about all kinds of things. Don't go anywhere. You are listening to the 2025 season finale of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports.
Hey, it's Scott Slocum. Big news. It's the end of an era. Mark your calendar now for Thursday, December 18th. We will be giving one last final performance of It's a Wonderful Life at the Rialto Square Theater. Thursday, December 18th. And yes, this will be the end of a 20 stations production of It's a Wonderful Life. We believe this is the best way to end the 100th year celebration of WJOL Radio. This will be a very special final show where we bring back some familiar voices for standout characters, including Joliet Mayor Terry Darcy and the beloved role of Clarence. It's going to be an amazing show, but it will be our last. So don't miss out. If you've never seen our production, this is the one to see. Tickets are on sale right now and selling fast. So get yours, and then let's all celebrate the fantastic story and our radio station's final performance of It's a Wonderful Life at the magnificent Rialto Square Theater, Thursday, December 18th. Brought to you by Darcy Buick GMC and Midland States Bank. Tickets at rialtosquare.com or in person at the Rialto box office.
This Sunday, the Chicago Wolves are division rivals, the Grand Rapids Griffins.
Always great games against the Griffins.
Just when you think Family Sundays couldn't get any better, the Wolves will host their first ever Wolves Craft game.
Fans gotta love this game.
And exclusive Chicago Wolves foam pixel hockey stick ticket packages can be purchased at ChicagoWolves.com. Chicago Wolves take on the Grand Rapids Griffins this Sunday at 3 p.m. Get your Wolves Craft tickets today.
Do you know what interest rate you have? With AutoPay, homeowners don't usually look at their statement anymore. I'm Chris Chernigel with American Commercial Bank and Trust, and I'm sure you've heard that interest rates have fallen. Give me a call, 815-412-0491. Reach out to see if refinancing can save you money, especially with the holiday shopping season upon us. Chris Chernigel, your home, your lender.
Chris Chernigel, NMLS number 339344, American Commercial Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey guys, it's Scott Slocum. Feeling run down? Then it's time to feel like yourself again and go see Amy at Game Day Men's Health in Naperville. Amy and her team are helping men just like me lose weight, boost energy, and reignite confidence with testosterone therapy, peptides, GLPs, and if you need sexual enhancement that gets real results. Call Amy at Game Day Men's Health in Naperville and start changing your life today. Call 331-GAME-DAY. That number again, 331-GAME-DAY. Locally owned, locally operated. Call 331-GAME-DAY today.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
May I help you? I just wanted to request a late checkout, please.
Of course. That's $30 per hour for up to 4 hours.
Huh. Okay, but if you can offer a late checkout, then that probably means no one is staying in that room. So if it's empty, maybe I can just stay a few extra hours.
Oh, aren't you adorable?
Life costs a lot. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates and other insurers, not available in all states.
Your official home for Joliet and Will County sports is 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is the season finale edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL. Will County News Talk Sports EDGYTIM, along with the coach Joe Rodriguero, Dave Dwyer in the studio for a very special season finale of Pigskin Preview on 1340 WJOL. Did you like that, Joe?
It's special.
It's very special. And of course, we couldn't do this show without Jeff Reams, whether he wins a state title or not. So we're going to bring him in. Head coach of the Wilmington Wildcats, state champion, Jeff Reams. Hello, sir.
Hey, guys. How we doing tonight?
Good. We're doing well. Great to have you aboard. And are we still on the rubber chicken circuit, or what are we up to this week?
No, we're doing good. We've had a lot of meetings with people. We've had a lot of situations where we've been honored, and it's very blessed to be all that and to go to all the celebrations. It never gets old, and so really happy for our kids and for our community.
Jeff, I have to ask this question again to you before I really get into the game. A state champion, I don't know how many, as I call them, 10-man games you had. You 10-manned everybody through the state playoffs for sure. 5 passes all year. My question to you again, were 4 of those 5 or all 5 against Morris? You have to know that answer, my man.
What that? Are you asking 4 or 5 were against Morris?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we heard it out game 1, guys, and then we really worked on we really focused in on running the football. Let's put it that way.
Oh, of course you did. Oh my! In the game, I would say Billy Moore, the quarterback, was a key to that game.
Oh, both sides too.
Yeah, both sides. And during the course of the playoffs, and I was at the West Hancock game, and the 2 corners that you have aren't very big. They're very good players. But when West Hancock had a couple big, tall receivers on the outside, and they're running fade routes, and that was really the only time they completed a pass was on fade routes. And El Paso Gridley tried that too early in the game, and then so did Marora. And then when Billy when Billy intercepted that pass, it kind of said, well, you know what, these guys are pretty good. We're going to start that. No. That changed the flow of the whole game.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. And in certain defenses, you're going to give your corners help, and certain ones you're not. And for us this year, we felt both Billy and Finn Bryant, our other cornerback, we're very strong fundamentally. And we tell them, hey, sometimes I'm going to be able to give you help, but there's going to be time you're going to be on your own, and you're going to be challenged. And both those kids were challenged all year long. And, like we told them, sometimes kids are going to make great plays. In that West Hancock game, we came across a couple of receivers that were really good.
They were very good.
We just said, hey, you got to keep battling. And then, some games I was able to give them a little more help than others. But, and I'm right with you guys that Billy was a huge part of that state game on both sides of the ball. But him getting that first interception right off the bat, I tell you, I really thought it set the tone for us. And, we told Billy and we told Finn both that they're going to challenge you guys. And so, let's make sure we're fundamentally sound and ready to do that. And both kids came out great. But Billy really shined that day, no doubt about it.
And in your first series, Evan and I did the game. And by the way, I thought Barry called a tremendous game offensively in the state championship game. What a great mind he has for that offense. I'm watching the flow, and Ryan's getting the ball, and K-Check's getting the ball, and they're kind of flowing to the ball. And I said to Evan, this is a perfect time for a bootleg. And a blind squirrel finds a nut sometimes, Jeff. I called the play before it was run when he ran for the touchdown. And it was perfect. I mean, it was just a perfect play. And then later on during the course of the game, I would call it quarterback power. Sometimes you had both guards pulling out there, which I thought was a key. And then the one that he got a first down on, he kind of, I said, okey doke the linebacker with his speed and got around him and then was forced out of bounds. So that's why I think he just had a tremendous game. And overall, just offensively, the guys on the line did a great job on I think it was Van Dyne on the trap up the middle with the fullback. He was so fast. I didn't think he pulled until I saw the replay. I just thought it was straight ahead blocking, but he did pull. But the offensive line, it was, as I said to you before, you guys offensively were just a machine on offense this year.
Yeah, you know, I think going back, I agree with what you said with Barry and our offensive staff. We had weapons where you had to defend the whole field.
Yes.
And if you try to defend Ryan a little bit or K-Chuck and Couples a little bit, and you know, we're going to try to get you off tackle, and then we're going to run a counter inside, and then we're going to keep we're going to have that quarter bootleg. And so it just really forces you as a defense to stay home.
Yes.
And if you start cheating it one way or another, we're going to try to find that spot to use it, to use our coaching. And we're just looking at the defense to see what to give us. And the Schrager kid at fullback, like you said, we hadn't run fullback. Sure enough, they start widening out a little bit more to protect on the outside, and sure enough, the inside opened up for us. And, we were able to make some big plays out of it. But no, going back to it, Barry and our offensive guys did a really good job. And we had, there's no doubt about it, we have some special kids. And we got special athletes, and they understood the offense. They've been in that system now for a long time, and they understand what we want to do with it. When you get a lot of seniors that understand it and have that experience, you end up having some games like we did, and very blessed to have that.
So, Jeff, let's go back all the way to week 1. So I want to get into this Morris a little bit, the planning that went into it, and after you played that game, how you feel that sets you guys up for the rest of the season.
Yeah, so, I mean, us and them, and like a lot of people that's been talked about, is, we have trouble finding our non-conference games, and so it just so happened that us and Morris were both open, and we talked it over for a little bit, and then it ended up for us being, and for them both. I mean, two great football communities, this close to one another. Coal City and Morris had battled a couple times, obviously, and so when the opportunity came for us, we looked at it, a little bit two ways. One, do we want to tackle a program like Morris? And to be quite honest, we didn't have any other choice. You have to say to yourself, do you want to do that? And I think we proved a lot during the game. Morris obviously ended up winning the ball game, but we went against a great football team. And I thought we hung in there, and I thought we took a lot of positives from that game. As much as it hurt to lose there in the last couple minutes or so, we knew we lost to a really good football team. And we know the kind of football team Morris is and their tradition. And to go over there and for our kids to put the effort that they did against Morris, I thought we came away with a ton of positives. Now, I'm not a big, moral victory guy. We still were 0-1 at that time. But I do think our kids during that game, and I think it carried us the rest of the season.
I want to go, Jeff, I want to go back even further, and ironically, it's involving Morris. I don't know why it just seemed to work out that way, but, every summer you go over to Morris in the summer and do 7-on-7. How important is that for your defense, and how important is that for your corners and your safeties to kind of go against teams they're probably never going to see during the season? Obviously, Morris a little bit different, but, the other teams that are over there, you'll get a Bolingbrook, you get some teams that you're just not going to see team speed like you see in those guys. How important is that in the big picture?
Well, it's huge, and it's something that we try to do. I think this past summer we did a team scrimmage with Bradley, and we weren't quite. We went against them, and I said, hey, now this is to especially to our sophomores that are coming up to be varsity kids, and I say, hey, now this is varsity speed. We got to get used to this, and you hit it right on the head. I think when you do have the 7-on-7s now or the 11-on-11s, if you can play a team of upper caliber and go through practice with that, I think it helps them a ton. And I will say this too, that us having 5 extra weeks of practice during the playoffs, boy, does that help us with our sophomores that we bring up for for the playoffs, and we're able to coach them up a little bit more. And I think that's been a big part of why we've been able to have some success and to maintain that success because we get those extra weeks of practice.
And speaking of that, Jeff, the way you guys won games in the playoffs, and I know you've lost a lot of great players, okay, at the end of this year, the state championship run. But it gives you an idea because, we did two of the, I saw three of the games where that second string, the second group of kids that come after you get the 40-point lead, score touchdowns too. I mean, it was like in West Hancock, people saw more, Wilmington just ran up the score. Well, no, because they had the second string in right after the third quarter. But it gives you guys in the coaching staff and even the kids an idea because your defense and your offense are still going up against first stringers. Your offense and defense first teamers are not out there.
Right. And you're exactly right. A lot of the time that we made those changes, our kids were still going against their number ones. And, what a great to teach the kids. I mean, there's one way that, everybody coaches them up during practice, but until you actually see them during a game, you're going to make more strides with that player watching them on film and seeing them on game film. And so for us to be able to do that and for us to get the experience for our kids to be out there during the game, I think it just raises your level of practice because now those kids that are now on the scout team, now they're having more team or more time on the game field. Now they're just getting better. That's going to make them a better practice player. Well, if you're a better practice player, that means you're going to push the kid in front of you to be better, a starter. And so now get that competition thing going, and we get guys pushing one another, and just I think that whole thing raises our intensity at practice and raises the level of play.
Jeff, I know you've been asked this a bunch, but I'm going to ask you anyway. How good does this team rate for you?
Oh, it's good. There's no doubt. It's one of the better ones. No doubt about that. I'm not going to. Matter of fact, I've been doing this so long that I got some fathers and sons that are going back and forth on. Hey, back in '96 when Damian Anderson was a running back for us.
They're pretty good.
And so there's a lot of arguing going on with that, but like I was telling we had our awards night just the other night, and I said, I'm not going to say who the best team is, but I'm going to tell you this team right here has a great argument for for saying that they might be the best, and just a really good group of kids that came together and played well, and kudos to them. They deserve it.
All right, well, we're going to give you about 250 days off, and then you're going to have to get back after it again. So, but again, just appreciate your time all season long, and even putting up with our nonsense in December. And again, just congrats to you, Jeff, and your coaches and everyone out in Wilmington. And just appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you down the road. Yes, congratulations, Jeff. Well deserved.
Hey, fellas, I really appreciate it. I've always said this. I think the Joliet area is as good as they can football-wise. And for you guys to include us and to cover us is just awesome. And we really appreciate all your help. And I can't believe the football season's over so quick as it is, but it is. And you guys make it a lot of fun, so I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. All right, thanks. Jeff Reentz joins us from Wilmington Boys, and 2 wins away from 300. That'll happen pretty quick next year. It sure will. Yes, it will.
Well, I mean, you can't argue with what he's done. Right at the 300 window and continuing to move up the ranks, and just the way he does it. And, he says this a lot, and Joe's talked about this a lot. He, for the most part, with Coach Southpaw and some of the other ones, he's kept a lot of those coaches intact with him for a long time. And you guys know that's a big part of this, too.
Now you know why they were so good in the way they did it. Yes. Well coached. I mean, there's no question. When I talked to Jeff before, you get the stat sheets and you get all the stuff online. The one that I looked at saw it just jumped out to me. Penalty yards, none.
Yeah.
The only penalties I think they had the night we were there, Saturday night in the semi, was the offsides when they were trying to field goal at the end. But to have no penalty yards with that type of offense, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
There's no procedure calls, no holding calls, no nothing. That's how good that offensive line was in that team offensively.
Hey, before we take a break, I'd be remiss not to mention this. A legendary coach passed away last night, Jeff Thorne, longtime coach at North Central College, and Jeff's been around the high school football scene forever. His son Peyton, great player at Naperville Central, went on to Michigan State and Auburn as well. Unfortunately, had a battle with cancer. I had seen Jeff last summer at the North Central camp. I'd see him out there every year. He looked good. He was, I think he kind of went through a first round of chemo and seemed to be doing pretty well. And it's just one of those diseases that suck. And
I know some people who saw him during the year, football season.
Yeah.
He was at the Little Brass Bell, which is the famous North Central Wheaton football game they play every year. I know some people who had said they had seen him there, and they said he actually looked pretty good, and he was very upbeat and positive about what was going on. But obviously, everyone knew it was going to be going to be tough given the diagnosis and how honest he was about it from the beginning. But this is him. You've got John, as you mentioned, his dad as well. I mean, these are people who have in our area, as far as high school football and lower levels of college football, it's hard to find a family who's probably done
more ingrained.
I mean, I don't think people now look at North Central College like, oh man, it's his superpower. It's got all this talent everywhere. When John Thorne showed up there,
got it going.
There was nothing.
Yes.
There, I remember
his
as
dad at the very
he had it going. That was right when I got there. Was when John was just starting to get it going, and then kind of passed it off to Jeff. But obviously, heartbreaking to hear that news today and talk to some people who had heard what had happened.
Really,
it was just awful. It was awful.
Really good guy who always treated me incredibly well, probably way too well, and always welcoming at North Central College. So thought we definitely had to mention that. So again, just prayers for Jeff's family and Peyton and his daughter and everyone else. Just a tough day yesterday for sure. So all right, step aside and take a break. When we come back, the Wizard of Kankakee, Joe. He's your guy.
I got a question for him.
We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the season finale of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports.
In times of loss, the support of your community can make all the difference. At Farkas Funeral Home, we've been a part of the Joliet community for years. We understand the importance of honoring loved ones while also embracing the strength of our community. We believe in supporting the people and places that make Joliet home. That's why we're more than just a funeral home. We're your neighbors, here to offer comfort, guidance, and resources during difficult times. Farkas Funeral Home, serving Joliet families with compassion and care, today and always. Learn more at farkasfuneralhome.com.
It's football season, ladies and gentlemen, and that means game time. And just like your favorite team, you need the right defense. At the Drew Mormon State Farm Agency, located in Lamont and proudly serving the surrounding areas, we've got your back. From auto, home to life insurance, my team and I will help you make the winning play. And that's saving money while protecting what matters most. So don't wait for the fourth quarter. Switch today. Call the Drew Mormon Agency at 708-799-8020.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. More than 1 million people are part of healthcare sharing now because it just makes so much sense right now. And MediShare is the gold standard. Members like it a lot. We know this from member surveys. MediShare has been around for over 30 years. It is a proven thing. And if you join before December 15th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee. So you save $100 right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline's December 15th. Call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. It's 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
This is the take care of my family goal. This is the enjoy the life I've built goal. This is the set up a foundation goal. This is Busey, where your goals become lasting legacies. Through bespoke plans that maximize your wealth, through partnerships that give you peace of mind. Because building wealth, tending to it, and passing it down secures a brighter future. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
This is the time of the year most of us are checking off our holiday gift list. Identity thieves have lists too, and your personal information might be on that list. Protect your identity with LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every single second and alerts you to the threats you could miss yourself. If your identity is stolen, your own U.S.-based restoration specialist is going to work to fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Make this season about joy, not identity theft, with LifeLock. Save up to 40% off your first year at LifeLock.com with the promo code BECK. Terms apply.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
High school football on 1340 WJOL.
The Off the Show show. If you could only be a part of that. Welcome back. It is the season finale of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM, the coach Joe Rodriguero, Evan Bredesen, Dave Dwyer in studio and on the phone. Simply known as the Wizard of Kankakee. And darn it, we're going to keep calling you that until it sticks, Steve Susie. Welcome aboard.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, Seuss.
We have all kinds of deep questions for you. Joe, we're going to let you start the firing line. Go ahead.
I'm going to ask you a question. You may know the answer. You're all powerful and, knowing.
Thus the Wizard of Kankakee.
That's why I call him that. Wilmington wins the state championship, throwing 5 passes all year. Has there been another state champion at any level that you can think of that's thrown less than 5 passes to win a state championship?
I don't know the specific answer to this, but I have to believe that there have been some teams like this.
Right. Oh, I agree with that.
In the neighborhood, but as far as that low, I would have to say that it's if it's not unprecedented, it's prety close.
That's unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, it's just.
Yeah.
I mean, you're with the press guys, and Evan and I mean, I don't know these guys that are from all over the state.
Joe, we're all dorks when it comes down to it. Okay, there's different. There's no different level of dorky.
How can this team win only throwing 5 passes? Well, you're going to see how they do it, and they did it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really an impressive display by that football team all season long, and I talked to some of the guys that have been there forever over the course of the 30 years that program has been running the way that it has been, and I asked a few of them, hey, I don't want to get into the argument about whether or not it's the most talented team you ever had, but is this the team that's running this stuff? Your stuff, your system, as well as ever, and pretty much all of them, reluctant to say that they're, the best at it, but admitting that, hey, I don't know if we've ever had a group that has an understanding of this as well as they do, and the ability to make adjustments that are almost always going to work when they make them.
One of the charms of the state finals, and you're well aware of this as well, is getting to just kind of talk to some other people and administrators and ADs that are hanging around trying to stay warm. Your thoughts on whether a playoff expansion is going to pass or not? What's the vibe you were getting?
These debates are always, they always kind of come down to, it's going to be close. And that's the feeling that I'm getting. I just completed the exercise of what if you use the data
from this year, what would the playoffs look like if you expanded it?
Yep.
And, you know, boy,
it's got to be ugly.
It is. It is. I mean, there's a significant number of 2-7 teams that get into the playoffs, and I just think the natural reaction that people are really going to have a hard time getting around, no matter where you are in the fence, is 128 teams that have qualified for the playoffs are not going to play in the first week of the playoffs.
Yeah.
128 teams are going to be bye in the opening round of the playoffs, and you're going to have another 128 games that are played in that opening round of the playoffs where you're going to look at them and go, why are we doing this again? I mean, they're all, you know, I don't mean to you know, decry anybody's program, but there are probably reasons that you finish 2-7, and I don't know how many 2-7 teams are chomping at the bit to keep going.
Yeah, no,
to be honest.
I totally agree. So you made Romeoville, Reed Custer, Plainfield South, Joliet West, Peatone, Plainfield Central, and Plainfield North happy, Seuss. Congratulations, because they're all in the playoffs now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it, and we've talked about this at great length before. You know, you know, everybody looks at, you know, the isolated examples, and I think when I looked at it genuinely, I was like, okay, there's a team seeded 38th that do on this, you know, based on this bracket.
Yeah, sure,
but
absolutely.
But it was very isolated. Those instances were extremely isolated. So we're going to change everything for those few isolated incidents. Like, and I mean, that just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because it comes with you know, it moves the season up a week. Like, you know, I mean, it's like, and all these little nuanced things to it that I don't know if everybody's really considering. And at the end of the day, is it going to ultimately change anything? No, I don't really think it is. And I think one of the other offshoots that people are so upset about is, you know, the Catholic dominance at that level. Well, you know what this system does? It puts more Catholic League teams in the playoffs.
Classes, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
I mean, the teams that just didn't get into the playoffs at 4-5, 3-6, that have done the same thing that all the playoff qualifiers have done, they've played a power-packed schedule. Maybe it was too much for them, you know, during the regular season to get to that 5-win plateau. Well, now you're putting them in the playoffs. You think anybody's going to be real excited about playing a 3-6 Catholic League team
No.
In the opening round of the playoffs? And then they're going to go, well, why got to play them? So and then you're going to have more Catholic League teams advancing in the bracket, because that's just what's going to happen. It is. It's the reality of the situation.
So regarding public-private and the vibe and the discussions that I had while I was down there, I get the feeling, Susan, tell me whether you agree or not, that I think the IHSA's take on this right now, like this moment, is, well, let's put off maybe another year to see how the recent changes we made, if they're able to maybe take effect a little bit better than they have been. That's just the vibe I got. Did you get that as well?
Sort of. I think that's kind of part of it. And I think, I mean, and I kind of agree with them that, you know, the policies that they've put in place, you know, might help towards, you know, kind of fixing this a little bit.
Right.
But ultimately, like, unless you have a situation where it's like a success formula type of situation, I think what you're going to constantly see, the names might change, but where they're coming from, I think you're just going to have a hard time not having situations emerge like this where you've got a Saturday full of private school representation. Yep. It's just, I mean, there's only so many ways that you bump these teams up the ladder. And do I think there are a few teams out there that might be playing a rung or two lower than they should be? Yes. Now, are they slowly started to fix that? Should we ever see Montini in a 3A playoff game again? No, I don't believe we ever should. No. And I don't think the situation will ever allow for that. And the one thing that actually that satisfied me out of this whole process was just because you qualify for a multiplier waiver doesn't mean you're going to get it now. Like, you can look at it and say, common sense says this school should never get a waiver, and they won't get it now. So that's the one thing that I thought was a pretty good thing about that. Well, and the other thing that you have to realize that, comes from the previous thing that we were just talking about is a multiplier waiver basically won't exist anymore if we expand the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's getting multiplied, because if your standard is who makes the playoffs, well, practically everybody's going to get in. So private schools won't get even an opportunity to have that waiver, and if it might be warranted, because you're practically letting everybody in. So.
Yeah, and the multiplier has always been, to me at least, kind of the low-hanging fruit for them.
Yeah.
And wasn't there talk, I thought I had read or had heard talk down there, that there was a 2.5 thrown around?
There were a couple of different ones on the ballot for consideration. And, to be honest with you, I'm kind of surprised. Well, this is one thing that I think a lot of people don't understand about the protocol of how this is done. Before anything can get put on the ballot, it has to go through the legislative committee. Right. Because what I always thought before I realized that was, how has this not happened before? Because private schools are violently outnumbered in the membership group. Right. How has all these schools that are upset about this not pushed through an extremely punitive multiplier? Something like a 2.5. Well, it has to get through the legislative committee, and they, I think, unifiedly decided that, hey, this is about as far as we can go before we start getting pushback from the other side. So I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but that's the way that it is. And we've talked about this before. What do you do about the 8A schools? Where can they go? You can't. There is no 9A. 12A. There is no 10A. Yeah. And I've heard some people discussing open class. I don't think that'll ever happen.
No, I don't think it'll happen either.
Yeah, I don't really think that'll ever happen. It's one of those things where, I think both sides of this debate feel like, oh, we've got a multiplier. What do you want us to do? Right. And then, and the real advocates on the other side are like, well, put them in their own division. And, there's just not enough schools at that level to facilitate a full playoff bracket. So, I don't think the IHSA will ever separate them. I think it's a non-starter for them. At least that's the feeling that I've got. I don't know how you feel about that.
Well, Seuss, it's Dewey. Let me give you this one on the multiplier. My opinion on the multiplier is, I know they're not going to look at it for whatever reasons they're not going to, but 10, 15 years ago, okay. But now you look across the board at all the sports and all the high schools. There's movement going around all over the place, and it's not just in the Catholic schools.
Yeah, I think that's that is something that I think is a valid statement to make on that topic. I think but what I think the more extreme programs that are obviously actively working to build their programs that don't have any restrictions, I think a lot of people feel like, well, hey, it's gone a little bit too far on that front. And I know, some people, said a few years ago that, if you lined up the Loyola roster, their roster came from 70 plus zip codes. And that's the kind of thing that when people look at that factor, they're like, yep. They should have a very restrictive multiplier because they're drawing from an enormous population base. And private and public schools do not have that. I mean, if a public school does have a true varsity level quarterback in their program, they can't do really anything about that. They just got to make it work. Yep. And the rules are not the same. It's like you can say, well, yeah, they get transfers too. Well, yeah, they do, but the legality of it is they can't do any active solicitation. I know it happens. I'm not naive, but In doing so, they're breaking a rule.
All right, Sue, say we're going to cut you loose. Always appreciate you hopping on with us. Another great year from you and Friday Night Drive. And again, just, I'll be talking baseball with you soon enough. So,
Hey, number one pick, baby. Let's get it done.
Steve Susie, the Wizard of Kankakee, joining us. We always appreciate him, Joe, and always willing to hop on and mix it up with us a little bit, which is why we like him.
We could talk to him for 2 hours.
Oh, no doubt about it. All right, that is hour number 1. Don't go anywhere. Hour 2, Tyler Plants from Providence. We'll have a few other members of the sports department joining us, and we'll throw it around in the 7 o'clock hour. This is the season finale edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports.
Will County's News Talk Sports, 1340.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. Today's dramatic escalation in the Caribbean, the U.S. seizing an oil tanker filled with oil from Venezuela. ABC's Martha Raddatz.
Sources telling ABC News it was headed for Cuba, capable of carrying up to 2 million barrels of oil. Today's seizure marking the first time the U.S. has overtly interfered with oil exports, Venezuela's main source of revenue. Until now, the U.S. has been targeting boats they say are carrying drugs, striking at least 22 boats and killing nearly 90 people, including 2 survivors.
In a statement, Venezuela calling the action a blatant robbery and an act of international piracy. President Trump at the White House today once again threatening to clean up Chicago.
Everywhere we go, we knock down crime. Too bad that we're not invited more into Chicago, because we could save Chicago very quickly.
But National Guard troops deployed by Trump to California have been uninvited.
A federal judge here in California rejected a Trump administration argument that even though the streets have been quiet since late June, the troops are still needed to carry out federal law in L.A. And the Trump administration argued the president's decision to extend guard deployments cannot be reviewed by the courts. The judge said no to both of those and is ordering that around 100 remaining guard members be sent home and put back under the control of Governor Gavin Newsom rather than President Trump. The White House indicates the administration will appeal. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
The House passing a new Pentagon budget. The vote, 312 to 112. The price tag, about $900 billion. The Senate still has to pass the bill before the end of the year. In western Washington state, residents packing up valuables, preparing to flee rising rivers. As a new wave of heavy rain sweeps into the region, still reeling from a storm that triggered rescues and road closures on Tuesday. An atmospheric river swelling rivers toward record levels. You're listening to ABC News.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers. Oh, they're here. Hey, who needs something to drink?
We've been overindulging a little more than usual. Thank goodness we both added active liver to our diets to give our livers some much-needed support so we have the energy we need to enjoy the holidays.
Active Liver from New Nordic contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract designed to give your liver maximum protection and help it do vital jobs like removing toxins from alcohol, rich foods, and sweets.
Try Active Liver today and enjoy all the holiday treats with the peace of mind of knowing you're giving your liver some relief.
Find Active Liver online at Amazon, Vitacost.com, or iHerb.com. Or pick it up today at CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite. Enjoy life to the fullest with Active Liver.
North Carolina Governor Josh Stein is canceling Medicaid rate reductions that started in October. The Democrat says the reductions were needed to deal with a funding shortfall for Medicaid, but legal challenges resulted in judges ordering a return to pre-October rates. New details in that October Louvre heist in Paris.
We just learned that there was a security camera over the other side at the spot filming the robbers as they placed a cherry picker and then cut a hole in the window and entered the building. But the image from that security camera was not transmitted live to the security guards in the museum's control room. In fact, it was only seen about 4 minutes later, by which time the robbers had already smashed the glass cabinets, grabbed 8 pieces of France's priceless crown jewels, and had left the building.
ABC's Tom Sophie Borage. Delivery robots are appearing in more communities, but they're starting to press some buttons.
We're getting reports of collisions with people, with pets, with bicyclists. We're getting reports of obstruction.
Josh Robertson started a petition calling for the city of Chicago to pause the delivery robots until there is more safety data. Serve Robots, which unloaded the vehicles in Chicago, says they welcome feedback. Author and philanthropist Mackenzie Scott donated over $7 billion to nonprofits this billion in 2024 and $2.1 billion in 2023. Dave Packer, ABC News.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
State Farm agent John Wright. I'm a multiple-time winner of the Reader's Choice for one of the best insurance agents in the area. When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect gift for your special someone. It feels real good to make the right insurance decision, too. The John Wright Insurance Agency is right here in Joliet to help you select the right protection at the right price. With me, State Farm agent John Wright, it's easy to make the right choice. Just call me when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Looking for a gift that'll make you look like the real Santa this year? Don't miss Will County Habitat's Bids That Build holiday auction. Bid for a chance to step into the role of a news anchor, state's attorney, master chef, and more. Win a signed Dirk Bentley guitar, rare bourbons, sports and concert events, vacation getaways, and so much more. Bidding is open and ends Saturday, December 13th during our WJOL. Register now at habitatwill.org.
Superfoods is your local holiday headquarters. Hand-cut roast, top-quality seafood, farm-fresh produce, and a great selection of holiday beverages are on sale now. Want even more holiday savings? Sign up for Burcott's loyalty program by visiting burcottfoods.com. Loyalty members earn rewards, have access to digital coupons, and are offered our hottest deals. Burcott's is your local source for all of your celebration needs. Visit burcottfoods.com today to join the loyalty program and view their holiday ads. Happy holidays from your friends at Burcott's Superfood.
A part of our community's rich tradition, St. Peter Evangelical Lutheran Church at 310 North Broadway Street in Joliet has been sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ for over 165 years and has the nation's longest-running continuous Sunday morning broadcast beginning in 1926. Reverend David Totsky, pastor of St. Peter's, invites you to join them in worship every Sunday for their divine service in person at 9 a.m. or on their radio broadcast at 11 a.m. here on 1340 WJOL.
Miller Lite presents your Chicago football game day headquarters. Coombs Corner Sports Grill in Lockwood. This Sunday, Cleveland travels to the lakefront to take on Chicago. And you can catch all the game day action on over 15 TVs throughout the barn. Coombs Corner features $13 Miller Lite and Coors Light buckets, along with a great selection of game day faves, including appetizers, burgers, pizza, and much more. Coombs Corner Sports Grill, 1225 9th Street, Lockport. Online at coomscorner.com. Celebrate responsibly.
Save big and everything, now at Menards. When updating your home with a fresh coat of paint, be sure to use Frog Tape Advanced. It's a premium multi-surface tape with a thin, strong paper backing, allowing you to tape around contours without tearing. Get a 45-yard roll on sale for $8.99. Good through December 14th. View our entire selection of paint and accessories today on Menards.com. Plus our weekly flyer for more great deals happening now.
High school football on 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back to hour number 2 of the season finale of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM, along with the coach, Joe Rodegaro. Dave Dwyer stepping in and sitting in with us this evening, along with Evan Bredesen. Gentlemen, I don't believe we ever had a Menards Christmas commercial ever on Pigskin Preview until this evening.
First time ever.
Well, we're going to go out to the phone lines and be joined by the head man in charge of Providence Catholic. His name is Tyler Plants. And Coach, welcome to the end of a very weird and different season, but obviously a pretty successful one for you in Providence.
Yeah, it was a great year. Definitely bizarre in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, great year. Crazy playing football all the way in December. But, we'll take every week together, every extra practice we can get. So it was a journey, but it was a fun one.
Tyler, speaking of the weirdness of all this, once you guys found out on Saturday that the games were going to be, or on Friday, that the games were going to be canceled, what was your Saturday, Sunday, Monday like with the team?
Well, it was kind of funny because Friday we were told that it was an absolute go. And then like an hour later we said it wasn't. So then it was Saturday. We ended up saying, hey, guys, like, it almost felt like you were canceling Christmas in a way.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So, like, the kids were going. It was actually a really cool Friday. Miles Boykin came down. Coach Harry Easton came in and spoke with a group. Practice was, like, perfect. Father Merck had an outstanding homily. Dinner was outstanding by the Pasta Moms, who are the best in the country. And then kind of when we heard the news, we're like, hey, guys, like, you probably have to sleep this one off. So Saturday, we did that. Sunday, we went to Joliet Junior College, thanks to Coach Greg Braun. He got us in over there, and we had a great practice, met a little bit. Monday, we came back out, and we practiced a little bit on the field. We couldn't get anyone to clear it off, so it was one of those where it was, like, really productive to start that ended into a snowball fight. So the kids were awesome. So it was really fun. So the kids, was a good memory for those guys. And then we kind of redid our normal routine on Tuesday. So we had the kids kind of get out of school at 8, did our normal pregame mass into a meal, and then took off down south. So it was, we tried to keep it as orthodox as possible and kind of just soaking the days together. But it was one of those where there's no manual.
Yeah,
you just got to kind of put it together and lean on the seniors and kind of see what they want to do and lean on the staff. And yeah, it was different, but we figured it out.
Well, you should have called me, Tyler, about the snow. Because, back in the day when I was the assistant athletic director for Seth, played a playoff game on a Saturday. It snowed on Sunday. And we're talking about maybe an inch of snow, and it was all over the field. Well, a few years before that, they tried to use the snow plow and tore the field up. So Seth he goes, Rod, you got to get the snow off the field. I says, what are you talking about? So I started calling around, and a guy from Lincoln Way Central, I knew one of the maintenance guys, said, why don't you just flatten the snow out? It's supposed to be sunny outside. I said, the sun will melt the snow because there's oxygen in it. You flatten it out, get the oxygen out of it. So I told Seth, give me the keys to the golf cart. I'm going to get the roller. And he started laughing. He goes, come on. I go, I'm telling you, I'm going to get the snow off. So, of course, my classroom was up above the gym by the wrestling room, so I could watch it every period. And I had it all done by 8:30, 9 o'clock. And Seth, I would come in, and I'm freezing, and he's laughing at me. I said, Seth, don't laugh. It's going to work. It's God is my witness. By 11 o'clock, every flake of snow was off that football field. I said, Seth, come on up here. I got to show you something. He couldn't believe it. Now, whether I know on turf it might be a little bit different, but that's when it was grass. But all the snow was off the football field. He couldn't believe it.
I'm writing all this down.
Yeah,
I'm writing all this down.
I did not.
Come next year when we get a foot of snow.
Yeah, call Coach Rod up. I'll try to take care of it for you.
We'll be having the kids doing donuts out there.
There you go.
Tyler, all these years I've worked with this guy, I never realized I had the Sodfather Part 2 sitting next to me. It's amazing. It's amazing.
You know what I'm telling you? You got to have these conversations. You just learn
I know.
more.
That's right. I know. Yeah, I told you. Just give me a call. I'm available.
Well, under the circumstances, pal, I hope we never have that conversation ever again.
Gosh, yeah. Yeah, that was tough.
Going into it, Joe, we talked about it. Dewey, we talked about it. I said I thought that game with St. Francis could be one of the best state title games, and unfortunately, Tyler, you're on the wrong side of it. But what a tremendous game back and forth.
Without a doubt, yeah, it was fun. I mean, they're a really, really talented group, well coached group, and I mean, some of the star power and firepower they had out there on the edges, like that Zach Washington's as good as you'll see when you talk about kids just blowing the top off of defense.
Yep.
Really, really fun team. Obviously, to run them twice and be on the other side of it, it's tough, but great matchup. Really, really fun. Love the way that the kids continue to compete, especially considering the circumstances. But yeah, no, it was we were a couple plays short. Then probably had our worst tackling game of the year, and then obviously a mistake on special teams. So you can't do that when you're playing a great team like them. So, but again, hats off to our guys. Like just the way they competed every year. Most fun thing that I could say about this group is that they took coaching and improved every single week. And then for the seniors, just the way they were able to kind of turn the ship, especially after the last season. I couldn't be more thankful for everything that they gave this year. So, again, obviously didn't come home with a ring or put a banner up on a wall. But one thing that I talked to them in the school about was they created that bond and that brotherhood. Like for me, actually, in 2009, we finished in second too. But what these guys were able to do was they created a group, a bond, a brotherhood where a handful of guys that I played high school football with were standing up at my wedding. And I think that these guys are going to be able to say the exact same thing with the way that they kind of went to bat for each other, the way that they came together as a group, and how tight they were. So that development over the course of 4 years, and especially this year, I told them they did it. Again, no banner can measure that. So, again, couldn't be more proud of them, their hard work, and the bond that they created.
Tyler, I really enjoyed covering your kids all year, and one of the ones that stood out to me, obviously you got a lot of kids who contributed, but I'm not sure, and Joe and I have had this conversation, how did Joey Levy just get through the season and be able to play? Just what did he mean? I mean, just us broadcasting, just the toughness, him being out there for you guys.
He was just an ass kicker, man. Like, there's times where he couldn't walk, and he didn't want to come off the field. There's times where we're getting onside kicks, and he was like a hitter out there on it, and he didn't want to come off the field. There was probably about, I want to say week 2 or 3 was really when he went down. So realistically, you're getting 75% of that kid for a good chunk of that season. So, like, only imagine what he would be at 100%. But, like, the other probably comparison I'd make is like a demolition derby car, where it's like you're not going to come out of that thing unscathed, where it's like your ears are pinned back and whatever's in the way is going to get it. But like the underrated thing about him too is he has elite ball skills. He's got elite speed. So he can go make moves. He can do a great job with the ball in his hands. But then, you're on the train tracks and it's you and him. There's only one guy that's going to be walking away from it, and it's going to be him. So that mentality, that toughness, I think is definitely a huge identity piece that we tried to carry with our offense. And then just like the relentlessness, I think that was a spark throughout the game where there's times where he's hobbling and walking and rolling on the ground. There's actually a play this year where he's cramping. He has like a really serious cramp. And he's like taking his drop on kickoff return, sets his feet, starts cramping, so he starts rolling on the ground. And 2 or 3 cover guys actually just stop. So we actually returned the ball all the way for a touchdown because they're like, "Is this what's happening here?" So we watched it live on tape. We're like squinting at Joe. Joe's literally rolling like 15 yards because he's in so much pain. Yeah. And then Xavier Coleman takes it to the house. So it was nice. That was a clinic tape one where I might have to show that one here in the spring. And hey guys, if you can't block the kickoff return team,
do something weird. Just roll.
Wow. it was beautiful.
Awesome. Gosh. You know, and again, Tyler, I had this discussion the other day. You're aware of it, obviously, but I think a lot of people might not be. Man, you had a young team this year. There's a lot of your kids coming back for next year, and that's got to make you feel good going into the winter.
It is. It's great to be able to have it at some key positions. Like your corners are both coming back. Yep. Be able to have a young quarterback who really matured throughout the course of the year. Tailbacks are back. We'll slide our tight end down into tackle. So basically both of our tackles are back in a way. Obviously we're going to miss a lot of those alignment. We're going to miss a lot of those seniors. Our inside backers will be gone. Our safeties will be gone. Our interior line, left tackle. And then Xavier Coleman, obviously, who's been a mainstay for us these last 3 years. But it is really exciting. It was a lot of a headache for a lot of the year. Where it's like you can only teach so much. A lot of things you got to just learn via reps. But for them to mature, tech coaching was huge. And for this great group of seniors to be able to really teach them how to do it the right way is outstanding. And now for a lot of these guys to be coming back with 2 more years of varsity football is really, really exciting for the staff.
You know, mentioning Mr. Coleman, Dewey and I, we did the game against Loyola, and basically he dropped 2 touchdown passes. But after that point, we had the Joliet Catholic game, and then we had a few more games. He caught everything in sight after that. He just, to me, he went to a different level during the playoffs for you as far as receiving the ball.
So for Xavier was actually not cleared for the Loyola game. So he was not, he didn't practice for like 2 weeks up to that point, or really that week for sure. So we completely shut him down. We wouldn't put him in pads. We wouldn't let him go. And then X came up to me before the game, and he's like, I want to play. And I'm like, I can't. I don't want to jeopardize you. I went to the trainer. The trainer's like, I don't want to jeopardize you. And then usually we have the physician assistant that comes in, and we had the doctor actually come in. The Dr. A came into the game, and he runs up to Dr. A. He's like, Coach, Doctor, can I play? And he's like, all right, well, I'll put you through a series of tests. Put him through a series of tests about 40 minutes before kickoff or 60 minutes before kickoff. He's like, yeah, your ankle looks really good, and let him play. So realistically, X didn't catch a ball for like 2 weeks before that game.
Yep.
So that was a little bit of it. But when I saw him go on that one route, like right before the half that he dropped, I was like, oh shoot, X is back, perfect. Because that was as good as I've seen a receiver run in my last couple of years. Was that one where I'm like, okay, well, and he was kicking himself that he dropped that ball, and I was like, dude, I'll let you get the rest of the game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, again, just want to thank you, Tyler, for joining us all season. We certainly enjoyed it. And, again, looking forward to bigger and better things from you and from Providence over the next year.
Yeah, we really appreciate all your coverage of our guys and of our program, and really always appreciate you having us on. And, again, thank you guys for always being such great ambassadors of the game. I don't think a lot of people in a lot of areas have what you guys do. So we cannot thank you guys enough for the time you give and the energy you give to the boys and to us. So cannot thank you guys enough for all you do.
And Joe, Tyler wanted to emphasize ass an ambassador. So thanks, buddy.
Maybe that's what he was thinking, but no, he actually said the right word. Tyler, you have a great Christmas with your family too.
Absolutely, Tyler.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas, guys. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, Tyler, take care.
Tyler Plant's joining us from Pigskin on Pigskin Preview. Had to throw that in, Joe.
Yeah, that was good.
But again, Tyler's been great with us all year, and really enjoy our conversations. And what I like about him is he's very straightforward. Comes right at you. You know, he doesn't play around. He doesn't give you smoke answers. He comes right at you, and I definitely have appreciated that. I think he's learned, Joe. I think the more we've talked to him, the better he's just naturally has progressed.
Of course.
He's a good interview, no doubt.
Yep.
So we appreciate him really all season long, and the coaches' wives and everyone else for putting up with our nonsense over the last year and sacrificing their Thursday nights to join us. And we appreciate it. We know it's a lot.
Yep.
Especially this late in the year. I mean, come on, we're at almost mid-December and we're doing a goofy wrap-up show. So strange. As I mentioned, if we're talking 2026 guys, they've got to be right at one of the very tops of teams to watch out for going into next year.
I totally agree. I have them checked off. I have Bolingbrook also checked off.
Yeah.
Watch out for them.
17 starters back, and you've got some highlight players there coming back as well. So we'll see for sure.
Yeah, Providence has got what I counted a little bit. What I did, they have 15 guys coming back.
I know the Catholic League conference realignment came out. Do you have the schedule there by chance?
I don't have the schedule, but I have the teams in their division.
So they're basically staying in the orange. Joliet Catholic is moving out of the orange and going to
the white.
Okay. So give us the orange.
Okay, the orange will be Providence, Fenwick, Carmel, and St. Iggy.
Oof. That's tough because Carmel is going to be pretty stacked next year. Trey Taylor, the ever popular Trey Taylor from Carmel, be in his 8th year of high school football next year. So someday he'll graduate and wind up in Nebraska. I don't know when, but they're going to be really tough, and obviously Fenwick returning. So JCA moves to the
white with DePaul Prep, IC, and St. Lawrence.
IC will be very good. I don't know what Lawrence has coming back. They were a good team this year, obviously. I think
the Lesker was a senior.
He's a baseball player, so he'll be gone. But we'll see. I think that's a little more tolerable. Is that the word for JCA?
We don't know who the
crossovers, which are going to be probably Mount Carmel and someone else, but everyone gets
Providence for sure they will play. Joliet Catholic.
So it's going to be very interesting. We're going to step aside and take a break. When we come back, We'll open up the phone lines. We're going to talk about, obviously some thoughts from this year, preview a little bit next year. We'll bring in another member of our sports team to join us. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the 2025 season finale of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports.
John, what are you doing? Get in my car. So why are you walking to work? Thanks, man. It's these insanely high gas prices. They're draining my bank account. I can't afford to drive anymore. Dude, don't walk. Just do what I do, because I never pay full price for gas anymore. I use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. Oh, wait. You're telling me you get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app? Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas. Does that actually add up to anything? I'll make around $200. Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PROFIT for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code PROFIT. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PROFIT for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PROFIT.
Tim Kerfin presents House Talk, Monday mornings at 9:05. Real estate, mortgage rates, how to get a house ready to sell, what inspectors are looking for that could trip you up. Tim and his crew will help you navigate through the process of buying or selling the biggest investment you'll make in your life. House Talk, Monday mornings at 9:05, here on 1340 WJOL, WJOL.com, and on Alexa.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
I just wanted to request a late checkout, please.
Of course. That's $30 per hour for up to 4 hours.
Huh. Okay, but if you can offer a late checkout, then that probably means no one is staying in that room. So if it's empty, maybe I can just stay a few extra hours.
Oh, aren't you adorable?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Hey, look, we're calling birds. Do they have cell phones?
Well, yeah. They're called calling birds because they have 4 lines of Cricket 5G.
How do they pay?
Oh, easy. Each line is only $25 a month.
Who are they calling?
Beats me. One sec, gotta take this.
Join Cricket Nation and get 4 lines for $25 per month each. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. New lines only. All lines must be selected unlimited plans. These terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device. Is not available everywhere. See cricketwireless.com for details.
Are you like everybody else in the world who has no idea what to get everyone for the holidays? Well, you're in luck. We got you. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with hands-free Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. There's no bending down, no touching, no fuss. Plus, Skechers slip-ins come in everyone's favorite styles and colors. And you can get slip-ins everywhere stylish footwear is sold, including a Skechers store. Or if you're too busy to shop in person, just get them online at Skechers.com, Amazon, and more.
Your official home for Joliet and Will County sports is 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is the 2025 finale, the season finale of Pigskin. I'm like, what week is it? Oh, I'm so confused. A Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM along with the coach, Joe Rodriguero, Evan Bredesen spinning the dials, and Dave Dwyer joining us. Just a special edition of Pigskin Preview. Boys, Player of the Year.
Well,
Coach of the Year. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay.
Read the winner.
Well, we kind of split it up a little bit because of the classes.
Yep.
Because I think that's the right thing to do.
Yep.
So our Offensive Player of the Year, 5 through 8A, is Jonas Williams, hands down.
Okay.
Broke all the records. In the 1 through 4A class, Ryan Kettman of Wilmington.
2 no-brainers.
I think so. Defensive Player of the Year, the bigger schools, 5 through 8, Dom Infeliz of Providence. Had a great year.
Yep.
And in the 1 to 4A, Zach Olin from Wilmington.
Another great year,
I
two-way
think
starter.
All those guys are well-deserved.
Yeah, and like I said, Kettman could have easily been defensive player as well.
Yes.
Played great defensively all year. So
that whole defense, I know Jeff has the defense. Their defense was...
The Moran kid, 44, was really, really
he's
good.
He's back next year, too.
Is he really?
Yes,
wow.
He is. Yes, I believe...
There's one of your wing backs right there, I'm sure.
He played tight end, and then he played at outside linebacker position.
Yeah.
and he's big and he's got speed. And I loved how their defense worked, because every time that quarterback got out of the pocket and rolled, the linebacker to that side rushed in and forced him to throw the ball quickly. So, that young man is a very good football player. And the adjustments Jeff made, as he talked about, were very good too. And of course, speaking of Jeff, our coach of the year is Jeffrey. So
like I said, there's a handful of guys you truly could name every year, and he's in that elite group. There's no doubt. Again, he's 2 wins away from 300. He'll get there next year. We talked to him, Joe, and he sure seems like he'll be back for another year. I didn't get any hesitation.
I think
whatsoever. I think he's in a good groove.
Yeah, I think he is too, and he's got the right people around him who's been with him for a long time.
That helps.
And I'd be remiss too, Edge, if we didn't mention a coach out there who's retired. He's been a long-time coach at Lincoln Way. He's Joel Palis.
Oh, absolutely.
Who's just a tremendous guy.
Class act.
Very classy guy. Always willing to talk to me and Dewey and anybody that comes along. And I just wish him good luck. And just a great guy. The football coaching area, the people are miss him for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But you know what, Joel's always going to be around the game.
I'm sure he's
going to be doing some different stuff. I'm sure. We talked a little bit, and he had mentioned he's got a plan, so we'll see.
Yeah, but just a great guy.
Yeah,
just a great guy.
Dewey, thoughts?
Some stuff I have thoughts on. We talked about Joey Levy. I just think unsung hero in the area.
Yeah, it's cool. Yep, totally agree.
Couple coaches I want to call out. George Chart, Lockport. The job he did after how they started.
Yeah.
And came literally within a play or two away from playing for a state championship.
Yes.
Heck of a job by him.
Totally agree.
Dave Woodburn. And not just this year. What he's done, he's building Lincoln Way Central.
Yep.
Talked about the loss of Tingley, what would have happened. 2 other ones. I wish Joe would have had the opportunity to go to Peoria Stadium, Edge. I think that would have been a sight. On the plank.
Thank God Oak Forest beat Peoria. Thank you, Oak Forest.
And one more.
I still love Peoria Stadium. Sorry, I don't have to sit in the little room.
In the catbird.
Don't have to sit in that.
So one the other day, when I was working, I drove through Ottawa, and it just hit me again. I don't get out there that often, but how nice on the Fox River, the home side's up against the school. You look over the turf, the scoreboard.
One problem, though.
Okay.
They have some various flooding issues.
Yeah.
Which is always a little bit of a concern sometimes. But again, is that our special guest? All right, we'll bring him in. All right, joining us, part of the WJOL broadcast team, the sports team, the youngin, Daniel Son. Daniel Dwyer joining us. Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Are you on punishment, or what's the deal?
He's doing his homework.
Hi.
Doing your homework? Attaboy.
It's actually done.
Nice.
Good.
Nice. Well, like you have homework. What are you kidding? All right, so I would love to get your thoughts on the season. We talked player of the year. We've talked coach of the year, if you want to add into that. Otherwise, I want to know how your experience was this year working with these knuckleheads.
I mean, I think I just felt that we're sitting here at Double J's, and now it's December 10th, and we're already done with the season, and now we have 200 and whatever days until kickoff, and I just thought it went by extremely fast, and it was a lot of fun. Thankful for all the opportunities. Just of course, great father over there, and thanks to Scott for giving me the opportunities, and thanks for you for having me on Pigskin across a couple episodes of the year. So just thankful for the opportunities, and man, it went by so fast.
Yeah. So I know it looks like you've transitioned a little bit to basketball. So is that a little bit different for you? A little warmer, I would imagine.
Yeah, definitely. Being at games or whatever, football, it does get a little cold sometimes, but yeah, I like basketball a little bit. And of course we just wrapped up the 29th annual WJOL Thanksgiving Classic. So it's
Good. As far as this season is concerned, what was a favorite game? What was a favorite game or two for you?
Wow. Definitely. One of the runner-ups, I think, when you were, of course, you were there. I loved the Sandburg and Lincoln Way East game. I think that one was a tough one. That was more of a defensively played game. I thought that was a really good game. I wasn't there, but I remember the Morris and Wilmington game. I remember seeing clips of that. And just, definitely, of course, the one that just happened at state between Providence and Wheaton St. Francis. I mean, there's a lot to choose from, but just a lot of good games around our area this year.
Daniel, I thought your favorite game of the whole year was the playoff game between HF and Lockport. That beautiful night that we had.
Joe, why don't we here? You know what? We'll give you the phone, and I can be the color commentator. We'll put you out there in the rainy, wet conditions.
And then you got my car.
God, I hope we didn't drop the phone call. That'd be horrible if that happened.
Oh, I think one of the best we're forgetting to mention was, Daniel, when Joe met his new best friend down in Wilmington, Willie the Wildcat.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, Daniel was in that picture with me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tell you what, Willie was probably the warmest guy that night. So.
No, I was pretty warm, too, but I sent Jeff that picture, and all he put down in his answer was, perfect.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, you know what? You know how you know it's the end of the year? There's not a baked good to be found in here.
No. Not with Dewey here.
That's a cold way to wrap up our season.
Right, Daniel? Now with your dad here.
Oh, yeah.
Good. As a high school sports observer, as now a paid professional, which, believe it or not, you kind of are, but also as a high school student, how difficult was the loss to Mount Carmel, and how was the reaction around school? That'd be hard.
It's a good question. I don't know. I think I kind of saw it coming. I mean, you see Mount Carmel, and of course, we saw, of course, during that Sandburg game and a little bit after that, questioning, is Jonas healthy? And then the big loss was La Vista, which, of course, I was right there filming that one.
We both were.
I was starstruck for that one. And just when you lose your big offensive weapon like that, and, Jonas's, big number one target like that, I mean, it's kind of hard to keep winning games, especially against what, just a tremendous season from that football program in Mount Carmel. And just, I think we saw it coming, but I mean, it was definitely silent around the school. Obviously, it was a tremendous season. Of course, you don't really get to walk around in the hallways, and you got a guy committed to the University of Southern California next to you all the time.
Yep.
But yeah, definitely silent around the school, and just, obviously, it was another good season for, Rob Zavonar, and of course, like you guys just mentioned earlier in the broadcast, and Joel Palisard. And it was another good season for LWE, but, of course, didn't end it, how we wanted it to. But, and of course, the Jonas era has ended, but it was a good run, and just, thankful for it all.
Yeah, guys, when we start looking at 2026, it's definitely going to be one of the storylines going into the season. This could be most likely seems to be the final year for Z.
Yes.
That'll be a big part of the storyline, and as Daniel mentioned, no Jonas, no La Vista, and there's still a decent amount of returning starters coming back, though, so they're going to still be a good team. I just think it's going to be different.
Yeah, they have more guys returning on defense than offense.
Yeah, so.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we'll see how that go. Do you have a thought on Player of the Year?
Well, I do agree with Joe. I think the right way to do it is you got to put it between classes. I definitely agree with Kevin for the 1A through 4A. That was, I was on the sidelines for that game. I was down there with good friend Steve Susi, and just seeing that kid, I was just like, oh my goodness.
Ryan Chapman, you're talking about, right, Daniel?
Yeah, sir. I mean, that, you know, just big and strong. I mean, I feel like he could be, you know, competing in 8A, honestly.
Yeah.
And just that was tremendous. Of course, Jonas, and then just, yeah. I mean, it's the right. You can never go wrong with Joe.
Thank you, Daniel.
So I think I'm going to stick with Joe. I mean, definitely Jonas and Kettman, and yeah, I mean, those were two insane players. Of course, Jonas this season got cut a little short being out 2 games, and of course he was just named Gatorade Player of the Year for the state of Illinois.
Yeah, he's going to win a couple more later this week too.
Yeah.
I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you. So. But hey, we're going to let you go. Thought you did a really good job for the station this year, and we definitely enjoyed having you around. Keep grinding, keep working.
Yep.
I got one question for Joe.
Yes, sir.
So how you've been working? I believe you've been doing broadcasting games for about 15 years now, around.
Maybe somewhere around there.
I want to understand how you can do games sitting next to Dewey Dwyer every single Friday.
You know what, Daniel?
That's the best question you've ever asked.
It's a tough grind every Friday. It is. It's a tough grind.
I mean, going on pre-games 3 hours before the game. I mean,
that's right.
I just don't know how you do it. So we should give you an award.
Daniel, none of us understand it.
Daniel, finally, at least somebody understands it, Dan. I'm glad you understand.
Well, you wonder why we like him better than you.
You've seen it all, right, Daniel?
Oh, yeah. I understand the trauma Joe goes through.
The trauma. Nice.
Thank
all
you.
right, with
I
that
appreciate
being said, while you still have a father, we're going to let you go.
All right, Daniel.
Well, thank you guys for having me on.
No
Happy
worries,
holidays.
All right.
You know, third guy, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep.
All right.
Daniel Dwyer joining us at 1340 WJOL. God, it's like a Godzilla movie. Part 2 is coming. No, Dewey, all sense. You got a really good kid there. You've got two very good kids.
Yes.
No, yeah. And you guys, you know, he's going to listen to Dad. He's not going to listen to Dad. You guys know that. You've been through that.
Oh, yeah.
But Joe, Edgy, Evan, what you guys have encouraged him with, he's come out of his shell this year. And Scott and I were talking at the basketball tournament. And Scott turned to me, he looked, he goes, you know, I think it's funny that other outlets have tried to duplicate what we're doing. And Scott looks at me and he goes, they don't have a Daniel.
No. Which is awesome. Yep. So. All right, we'll step aside. We'll come back one last final lap, as someone likes to use all the time. We'll go with that.
That's for Googs, by the way.
No, whatever. Googs, I can walk down to his house and talk to him. No big deal. We'll be back. We got a lot of thank yous and people to thank and things like that. So please don't go anywhere. You're listening to the final edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk Sports. And when we come back, we'll tell you how you can see us.
Oh, yes.
On stage.
Yes, for sure.
We'll be back.
It's football season, ladies and gentlemen, and that means game time. And just like your favorite team, you need the right defense. At the Drew Mormon State Farm Agency, located in Lamont and proudly serving the surrounding areas, we've got your back. From auto, home to life insurance, my team and I will help you make the winning play. And that's saving money while protecting what matters most. So don't wait for the fourth quarter. Switch today. Call the Drew Mormon Agency at 708-799-8020.
Hi, this is Will County Sheriff Mike Kelly. You're worried about your loved one using drugs, maybe living on the streets or bouncing from shelter to shelter. Maybe they have already overdosed and need help getting into a treatment program or basic help with transportation or clothing. New resources are available through the Will County Sheriff's Department, from access to Narcan, treatment programs, post-overdose, or basic needs. Call 815-724-1404. That's 815-724-1404, or log on to willcountycoalition.com/CARI. That's willcountycoalition.com/CARI. Don't wait, call or log on today. Funding provided in whole or in part by the Illinois Criminal Justice Information Authority. Points of views or opinions contained within this advertisement are those of the author and do not necessarily represent the official position or policies of the state of Illinois or the Illinois Criminal Justice Information Authority.
At Abrini Credit Union, we believe in supporting your financial goals. We offer 2 $1,000 scholarships to help ease the financial burden for 2 students. 1 graduating high school senior and 1 current full-time student enrolled in an accredited college, university, or educational programs. The best part of the Breeze Scholarship is that winners are not selected based on GPA or financial need. To qualify, applicants, parents, or grandparents must be members of a Breeze Credit Union for 3 months or more before the application is submitted. Apply online or by mail. Here's what you'll need: a complete application, your school transcripts, 2 recommendations, and either a short essay or a 60-second video. Show us your creativity. Don't miss your chance. Learn more and apply at IDmyway.com, powered by a Breed Credit Union. That's IDmyway.com. Applications are due by or before midnight on January 31st, 2026. By member choice, this institution is not federally insured, but privately insured up to $250,000 per account by American Share Insurance.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live and save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say micro, offer ends 12/14. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Your official home for Joliet and Will County sports is 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. This is the final segment of the last edition of the 2025 Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM, the coach Joe Rodriguero, Dave Dwyer, and Evan Bredesen running and spinning the dials and everything else. Joe, I'm sure you have some people you want to thank.
Well, of course. I got a long list. Of course, Scott, our boss, you, Edge, Evan, Jen, Dominic, Dewey, and Daniel. Also the coaches in our area and the ADs for when I contact them for rosters and stats.
And you were kind of a pain in the butt. So
I know I am.
Let's be honest.
But what's nice is they all seem to like me well in front of me anyway. No, seriously, knowing these coaches now for a while and actually teaching some of them, because I'm so old, and knowing them, coaching with them, it's a lot easier. And, of course, Drew Mormon and John Wright.
Yep.
And our callers and listeners, especially JCA Bob. Hopefully he's doing okay. Bob. The other Bob, Greg, our buddy from Tinley Park.
Yep.
Rita, our girl Rita, and of course Alex down in Bradley.
Yep.
Who
Alex Acevedo. Yep. Good regular listener.
Yes.
Deb Rodriguero. Denise O'Halloran. Yeah, I don't get it either. You still don't understand it. I'm not going to question it.
No, you better not.
Still staying with us for some strange reason, but. Again, they tolerate us being gone on Thursday nights and all other weird times of the day and everything else. And you mentioned Scott again. It's his call on all this stuff and keeps having us coming back, and we keep coming back. I don't know why, Joe. We look at each other and just shake our heads and keep moving forward.
That's right.
So, but we have a blast, and I hope it comes across that way. We enjoy what we do, and we hope to be doing it again for a long time to come. Dewey? You certainly, I know, have some people you want to thank with all the stuff you do, and here's your opportunity.
Well, a lot of people. Starts with you two, Evan. Donovan's run the board a few times this year. Mr. Jim Ward, got to thank him as well. Daniel, Charlie and Jillian, obviously. Support system, and Joe, you already said it. Scott Slocum, he gives us all an opportunity. Let's us run with this. Which,
exactly.
you know, there's letting people do things, and there's having a trust.
Yeah.
And he has a complete trust in all of us, and it's been earned, but it's a credit to him.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And you know, again, it's we have fun with it. And as Joe said, and you said, we can't do it without the coaches, without them picking up on Thursday nights and putting up with our nonsense and everything else. And,
yes.
You know, again, I'm looking forward to 261 days from now when we're getting ready for kickoff and getting the season going. So it should be a good time. Should be another good year here. But, Joe, it's a good year every year.
It sure is, especially because of the coaches and players and fans. And it's just a great area for football, and I'm glad I'm just a small part of it.
Changes, we were kind of talking a little bit off the air. You know, obviously, we're waiting to see what happens with this playoff expansion. That's up for a vote. We don't know. We'll find out. I mean, the feedback I got from people wasn't exactly glowing or positive that it was going to pass. But then, depending upon who you talk to, you're hearing it might be a bit closer than it's been. So we'll see how that shakes out. You know, it's you've got that. You've got public-private, which continues to be an issue. I, again, don't think anything will happen this year. Maybe they'll go into another year and take a look at something. I'm not sure. But, guys, again, it's when it comes down to that, and we kind of alluded to it earlier, it's like a dog chasing its tail. You keep moving them up and down, and they're still going to fill in, and they're still going to win classes.
And Seuss was right. You know, if you expand the playoffs, and the Catholic schools there's going to be more Catholic schools in brackets.
Yeah. And around later, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I agree. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'm already aware of one coach opening. I'm not going to say on the air, but it's in the area.
Okay.
You expecting any more of those, Joe? Off the top of your head? I mean, you look at teams that maybe didn't have great records, but you know, this area is generally pretty stable. They give guys a chance to kind of earn their way there. I don't know if we're going to see too much of that.
No, he mentioned Jeff as the
dean.
Yeah, the dean of the coaches, and
talked about Z potentially next year being his last year.
I can't think of Stakala, the head coach at Plainfield East, did a tremendous job this year with that team and making the playoffs. And I got a question for you that we're kind of doing this, and I was going to ask Seuss this, but we didn't have enough time. Is the mystique gone from East St. Louis?
Yeah, I definitely. You mentioned that earlier, and I tend to agree with you. I think there's more to the book of how to attack them now.
Yes.
I think people really have a pretty good game plan going in, and how to give them a game. And again, it's one of those situations where, you know, the last time they played a four-quarter game was against IMG in Week 9. You know, and then you get into the playoffs and you start blowing people out, and I think you get very comfortable, Joe. And let me tell, and you guys know this, you weren't there. You were there. Actually, you weren't there. I was there. It was not, or no, you guys were there. Right, because Providence. Okay, the last game, you guys were on your way home.
Yes. I saw the second half.
St. Louis was not calm in that game, from the beginning to the end. Whether it was the cold, I don't know what it is. High school kids being high school kids, whatever happened. And again, not making excuses, but it seemed like the longer you can hang around, the better opportunities you're going to have against them, and that's exactly what Fenwick did. They hung around. If you look at the stats,
it was 2-1.
It was like 2-1. I mean, they in East St. Louis, talked to those guys today, said they were very creative in how they shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
So kind of hard to argue with that. You know, they definitely had some issues and some problems that led to them losing that game. But yeah, I think the mystique's gone a bit with East St. Louis, and I think now there's not that fear or intimidation that there used to be. So I think people are going to approach it differently.
I agree. And you're talking about the playoffs, and the last was IMG, but when they come back and play in their conference, I did the stats. It was like 58-6.
Crazy.
Average. Yeah. I mean, it was just ridiculous.
Well, we hear that with schools around here. We hear it with Lincoln Way East, and we hear it with others where the conference really doesn't do them much. I think that maybe a little bit of the case with East St. Louis too. But, you know, we'll see what happens.
I've been told, first of all, that conference is changing. They're adding, I think, 2 schools.
Down south there?
In the Southwestern Conference. So that's going to change the dynamic in that conference a little bit. I'm also hearing there's a possibility that the conference might become a little less class sensitive. So the moment they get an opportunity to go to 8A, they're going to 8A. That's where they want to be. That's where they want to compete. They want to be at the highest class possible. They want to regularly run into the Mount Carmels and the Loyolas and everyone else because in their mind, that's where they want to be. That's where they want to compete against the best. So good luck to them. But Joe, that's a possibility maybe a little bit down the line. We'll see. Evan, anyone you want to thank? I mean, we obviously, we've all done our thank yous, and we want to thank you for all your efforts. And people might not realize how much you put into this, and you and your wife, Jen.
Yes.
And don't flash me 5. I know how much time is left, okay? But you guys
that little green light
control Central here on Friday nights, and that's why it's so damn good is because you guys and the work you put into it.
I will just thank everyone, who helps us throughout the year. Obviously, the sponsors, the fans. Yep. I mean, if people didn't love high school football the way they do in this area, sponsors wouldn't be wanting to sponsor our coverage, and we wouldn't be able to bring you the coverage that we can bring people. It's specifically because this area is special that we're able to do what we're able to do. And so I'm just thankful for all the people out there that support high school athletics and support the support of high school athletics. I mean, you hear it with the coaches. They always say, thank you for having us on at the end of the year. They're always very appreciative. And the one thing I've noticed in the time that I've been doing this is coaches that come from other areas where they don't have that, they get a taste of it, and they might be initially apprehensive, like, oh, there's media obligations we have. They very quickly fall in love, though, with what it is we do because they realize that they have something most areas don't, which is constant coverage of their high school football teams and doing it the right way, the professional way, and doing it in a way with people that love high school football. This is not – we've seen it. We've seen the people who use it as a stepping stone to the next thing and then the thing after that and the thing after that. We do it because we love it.
Yep, no doubt about it. And the coverage has changed. There's no doubt. It's changed from where it was, but it's still here.
Yes.
It's still here. So by all means, appreciate the coverage you do get in this area. You got to subscribe to the Herald. You've got to support the advertisers on this radio station. Otherwise, it's going to go away. And we're seeing it go away in other parts of the state. We see it all the time. So, again, it's still a non-stop, constant battle to keep high school sports on the air and on TV and everything else. And even the TV side, you're seeing less and less this past year, and that's not a good thing. So.
It wasn't that long ago, that you'd wake up and you'd run out to go get a newspaper or, the Trib and the Sun-Times on Saturday, go see what everyone did on Friday night. Now it's a point where my uncle, who's in his 70s, who used to read all the scores out of papers, he just calls me now on Saturdays because he says, Evan, I want to know, I can't find who won, who lost, how did Joliet Catholic do, how did Mount Carmel do, and so I get those phone calls now from family members who, for years, they knew where to go to get the results.
Yep.
It's not there anymore.
No.
It's not there anymore. This is very, very rare what we have, and it's very special, and I'm just privileged to be a part of it.
Yeah, we all are. And for people, I just had this conversation a couple days ago with another media member, and all we said was gridiron. And everybody knew what we were talking about. About how the Herald used to really just blow out high school preps, and that was a great time. I don't think it's ever coming back in that way. But, again, I give the Shaw guys and Seuss and them credit because they do it right. There's no doubt. They put a lot of effort into it, which we can definitely appreciate for sure. So, all right, it's going to do it. So for Joe, for Dave Dwyer, for Evan Bredesen, myself, EDGYTIM, thanks for the listen. Thanks for the support. We love you. We'll be back next year, hopefully.
Yes.
Who knows? But we plan on being back next year. Again. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. Love you, and we'll talk to you in about 261 days. This is the 2025 final edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. Good night, everyone.
Merry Christmas.